So much to talk about today. I've already done this video twice. I get 6 minutes into the first video and realized 5 minutes was talking about Chicago Hall and the friction tonight's race has put and will put between James and I over the next couple of days. I don't want that, but you know, I'm on shaky ground because it puts me squarely in the I told you so range for James. James doesn't like to qualify the horses fast. He thought I qualified him too fast. It was too much, and I told you so will be in order tonight. When really what happened with Chicago Hall is he scoped full of mucus. There was a little bit of blood. He showed 59, 28, and 4. He did all he could. Wasn't online, wasn't sore. Power outage. What happened? We know why now. Now, the questions that need answered. So the major question is, how do we treat him? There's two parts to that question. The first part is draw an SAA test to see if the mucus found in his airway tonight is sickness or allergies. I have a sneaking suspicion that it's allergies. I really hope it's not. In this case, I would rather he was sick. So we're going to find out. We'll also draw a full blood panel on the horse tonight to figure out what happened. Where did this mucus come from? I'm almost kicking myself because although he qualified so good, maybe we should have scoped him the other day. Maybe we would have found a little bit of allergy mucus, maybe just a spot of blood and said, whoa, we got to be aggressive with this horse all week. That didn't happen. That's on me. There was ample opportunity in the conversation that I had with Dominic and James to, well, Dominic's conversation was not the same as James's conversation. There was plenty of time to bring that up, and I didn't raise my hand, so that's on me. Anytime you have a horse that qualifies a race is so good, your first inclination is not to scope the horse, but in hindsight now, it may have benefited us, but that is filed under hindsight. So why was there mucus? Why did he show a little bit of blood, and how do we treat it? SAA test first, blood panel second, blood work, find out what's going on, and then treat it accordingly. Now, everything I just said took 2.5 minutes. It took 6 minutes in the last video. Yes, it's going to cause friction between James and I. Yes, we disagree on a number of things and how to prepare the horses. But as I said to James, I didn't say to James, but I will say to you, there's nothing I can do. This is squarely as I told you so. Whereas you look at all the horses we've raced and qualified and gone with over here in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Kentucky, they've been all prepared the same way, all qualified the same way, all raced the same way. The only difference is the result in Ontario tonight. A break from Sentry Legion, we'll talk about that, and a poor race from Chicago Hall, which it really took a chunk out of my heart because I knew, as soon as I knew he wasn't advancing in the last turn, I'm like, I am going to get a absolute tongue lashing here when James pulls up. So, SAA test, blood work, then we formulate a plan, dry him up. His first race is July the 9th. Make sure he's ready to go on July the 9th. That is step one. Now, Sentry Legion's break. I'll be completely honest. I believe qualifiers are on Tuesday. Friday to Tuesday is short work. I know. But I will tell Harry I will be there Tuesday morning to qualify the horse myself, and it won't be in question form. A lot has to be done still to get these horses on track and consistent. Sentry Legion looked good in his first two qualifiers and fell apart, blew up at the gate last week, and then blew up halfway down the lane, seemingly the same spot. So what is happening? Usually what is going on there is a horse is either interfering or switching their leads a little too far down the stretch for you to convince me it's switching his lead. So I'm going to say he's interfering a little bit. We did remove the flip-flops after his first qualifier. Was that a problem? Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see. But I need to get him under control immediately and moving forward. I believe the qualifiers are Tuesday, and if they are, he will be there. I had planned to be in the Marion Fair on Tuesday. Booked off. I'm booking off, I believe, the Meadows to be there on Wednesday. We Fire and Shine, the Trot and Philly B. think Jason said we had 5 or 6 horses spread over 2 days. So it looks like I'll miss. It looks like I will miss Tuesday, and I will go home and go with Sentry Legion Tuesday morning for Harry. I will talk to him about that. He will be ready for July the 9th also. That is the plan, and that's exactly what we are going to do Tuesday morning as I speak right now. Now, a lot can go into that. Maybe he was sick. Maybe there's something bothering him. I don't know. But as I sit here talking to you right now tonight, I will be there Tuesday morning to go with this horse. So that is that. That, that is racing. For all the people that said, hey, that horse made 2 breaks in Michigan. It can happen anywhere. And it just did at Mohawk. So we'll look to get Sentry Legion under control. We already know what happened with Chicago Hall. It's just a matter of exactly what happened. We know he's full of mucus. We know there was a few spots of blood there. The question is why, and then how do we fix that? Well, if it's sickness, we put him on antibiotics, run fluids into him, have him ready for the 9th. I would love that path. If it's allergy mucus, that's a bugger, and that's a harder one to treat. So, but formulating a plan for both is not new, not shocking, and we already have a playbook in place for that because we have horses already that we're treating for that. Being very careful with Gorgeous Package for the same reason. Grand Slam Dio, same reason. Gymboree, same reason. This is not new to any of the horses, and we will get the horse cleaned up. Now let's start the rest of the day because, truthfully, if you take that little blip out of there and remove He's a Great Guy's kind of lackluster race, got a pretty good day, to be honest. I did want to look at one thing. He's a Great Guy, 2-3-3, 31-1. Not what I would call a sparkling endeavor. Manhattan Money to start the day. Now, Manhattan Money, we trained the horses up hard 3 days ago. Now, very telling race tonight. A tiny bit soft. What did his line look like if I was to cheat a little bit here? Manhattan Money, 59-2, 29-2 on the end of it. Half in 102-3, mile in 59-3. Last half in 57-1 or 57 seconds flat. That's a much better line than I thought it was for, not that I thought it was bad, but that's a hell of a line for Manhattan Money. I was going to tell you he was a little soft. He certainly didn't look like it by math. But I can tell you this. He's a much, much better horse than he showed today. So a great start to his career. Second beat a neck in 59-2, last quarter 29, last time 57 or 57 and a piece. A great mile from Manhattan Money tonight. Very, very impressed with him. His poise. I was worried he'd be a little hot coming off the car. As soon as I got him in a hole, he relaxed. He waited until I moved him. And get the flip-flops off him. I saw his gait tonight. A lot of big action on this guy. I think we can go to a 9/16, and if he's a little pacey warming up his next time, then you just put a couple of sets of bell boots on him. But for today, I believe we'll switch from a heavier shoe with a flip-flop to a 9/16, 3 little dots on the toe, and 1 set of bell boots. And if he warms up a little pacey, as I said, just switch to 2 sets. I think he'll be fine. He's a great guy. I just don't think he's a great horse. I think he's an okay horse that did everything he could tonight. I wasn't disappointed with a mile and 2-3. It's kind of what he's shown, right? He's just inch by inch a little bit better. But I'm more inclined just to put him in the fair next Wednesday. And it's 5 days away. It's not really a long time for him. It's not really what you want for a 2-year-old. But at the same time, as is, he's barely a Buckeye horse. Still, he tried. I'm not making fun of the horse tonight. Told you guys, I'm always going to stick up for the ones that do their work. He got out of gear coming out of the gate and could have been a slob and roll off stride. He did not. I steadied him and kept him together, made sure we didn't break rule number 1, and then he hit a better stride in the first turn and took off and caught up and actually raced good. So that mile on 2-3-3 was probably the last 7/8 of a mile was a little better because he was fairly sluggish that first 8. But wasn't horrible. For a big horse, I'm surprised how well he gets around the turns, to be honest. So another reason he could go to the fair on Wednesday. I'm leaning towards it. I know he's just a big Clydesdale. I don't really think he's going to hurt himself because he wouldn't do enough work to hurt himself. He just goes out and kind of goes through his motions. If he was 2 or 3 seconds faster, he'd be a super likable horse right now. And it's not that I dislike He's a Great Guy. I just don't know what the rest of his year is going to look like, right? I don't know what he's going to look like. but I can't fault the horse for trying. I can honestly say he wasn't dogging his work tonight. He wasn't trying to get out of work. He wasn't being lazy. Felt like he did what he comfortably could do. And for that, I guess I can't be too angry. The rest of the night, aside from the 2 Ontario horses, was very, very good. Rose Run AJ, that was a big, big mile. I want to get it right because I know he did his work really, really well. 56-3, 27-2 on the end of it. I'm 6 back at the half. That's a half, and 101-3. Just so you know, simple math. His last half was exactly 55 seconds flat. Last quarter in 27-2. That was a hell of a mile. Probably the fastest last half and last quarter of any 2-year-old tonight. A great mile for Rose Run AJ, but most importantly, very, very accommodating. Quiet off the car, sat politely. Even when Ronnie moved and came with a full head of steam, he dusted me down the backstretch because he got away. I was a little bit flat-footed, and then AJ said, "Oh, whoa!" He took off and raced with them all in the last turn. I was a little miffed. I should have dropped in behind, just stayed there. But I just thought I had all the momentum and a full head of steam, but Ronnie still hadn't deployed the earplugs out of him, popped the earplugs out of his ears, so I should have just taken what I was given. But just a great mile from Rose Run AJ. He was awesome. Collector, down in Southern Ohio, what kind of a mile was that? Out every inch of the racetrack. Never saw the inside once. Was second at 55. It was a hell of a mile. A hell of a mile from that horse. Big, big mile. Cadeau, somebody messaged me and said, I just don't think he's fast enough. Come on, man. Qualified in 2 minutes and looked great. I wasn't going there looking for speed, although I was not looking for 2-2. When we went out of the gate, there was literally 4 lead changes by the quarter pole. I looked back at Ronnie. If you watch the video, I looked back and said, this is the elite lop? Everybody just kept coming and coming and coming. I didn't really want to be on the front, but I was happy, especially when I popped up like 30-4. I'm like, I'm just going to let him roll along. It went at 59. And then Mike came and I cut him loose. I'm like, all right, I'll just sit here and I'll win. 102. 102. Halfway down the backstretch, Ronnie popped into the 3-hole, and I'm like, no. I went to pop out, and as soon as I come out, Cadeau was like, what, right now? Whoa, what are we doing here? And he kind of just hung for a second. I'm like, okay, relax. I dropped back in. Well, at this point, Ronnie's already gone down to the rail, and now he was angry because Chris Lems is already out and going. Who wins the race? I might have put a little salt on the wounds. Ronnie was a little angry after. I said, you didn't just move that horse, you're a winner. He was not happy. Cadeau raced great. And for those of you out there that think he's not fast enough, make no mistake. And he had big, bulky boots on tonight because he touched way up on his hock, on his jack. You can't wear those big rubber boots. I'm in the post-parade and I'm like, that's not going to work. We'll have him hung up better for the race. And I do believe he'll trot 56, 57 right now. It was a good mile tonight. You can't read too much into quarters and speed for 2-year-old trotters. What you want to see, do they have speed? Of course he does. He already qualified in 2 minutes, come 28 apiece, or half in 58. And do they do it right? I left for a horse to sit and slowly advance in the first turn. It's hard for a 2-year-old to do, especially ours, because they're used to being aggressive and being racy. Smart about it. Took the lead. Didn't get excited when Mike Wilder came. I let Mike Wilder go. Those saying, well, he had an ear hood on. He had no ear cones in it. That was really just fabric. You hear everything. Oh, no, he didn't. He actually had earplugs in. He had earplugs in for the first time. He kicked him out. Halfway down the lane, I didn't know what he'd do. Didn't even bother him. Anyway, I thought the horse raced great. Again, shipped over here on short notice to race. He can be much, much better, and truthfully speaking, I'm happy with what I've seen from Cadeau. I don't think speed is going to bother him. You move him to Scioto and get over the half in 58 and go a mile in 56 rather than, 2-2 off a half and 2. I think he'll be just fine. I don't think the transition of speed is going to bother this guy. Very impressed with his maturity tonight. This horse made a lot of mistakes off and on throughout the spring and did his work great tonight. So really, really happy. Horse that really impressed me also is Blue Ventura. Very mature. A little aggressive in the 2-hole, but that's fine. That's okay. He's another one too. What does his line look like? Cadeau 202, 29 and 1 on the end of it. That's a good mile for him. Blue Ventura, 56-4, 27-4 on the end of it, off a half in 1 minute and 2/5. Last half in 56-2. Pretty good mile for, no, wait now. 56-4, last half 56 would be 1 minute 4/5. Yeah, 56-2. A good last half for Blue Ventura. These are no jokes, right? These are Ron Burke's homebreds. I don't know if you remember or not, but the horse that beat me is by Sweet Lou out of the mare Camille. I remember Camille because when I was driving, Brett Miller came to Flamborough when there was a lot of money in Ontario, and beat me. I had that big, good-looking mare of Corey Johnson's. He beat me at the wire in like 51, and with Camille. I remember the day he did it. She was such a nice mare. Anyway, this is a homebred out of Camille, one of Ronnie's homebreds. So again, classy horse, lots of pedigree there. Certainly no slouch. So Blue Ventura, a great mile from him. Texan Soprano was a winner tonight and looked very, very good. Great job. Tyler Buter filled in tonight, and he looked very good doing his work. I'm not really sure why Mark didn't get the call on this horse, but no big deal. The two horses in Ontario, again, I talked in depth about them. Sentry Legion, we got to get this guy squared back around. And Chicago Hall, we know what went wrong. Well, we know one of two things: allergy mucus or sickness. I know I'm hoping for sickness, but most signs, all signs are kind of pointing to allergy mucus. So it's treatable. It's very treatable. We've already done it. We already have plans to continue to do it for some of the other horses. It's always disappointing when you see it a little bit for the horses, right? You always wonder if it's going to be an impediment throughout the summer, and are you really going to be able to mitigate it consistently full time? That's a very hard thing to do. And a lot of horses, right? This is the difference between, if you have a top horse, it may be the difference between a Grand Circuit type and regional success. And listen, Chicago Hall's a nice horse. I know that James is going to be miffed and is miffed and will be miffed about tonight, but it will happen. We're not the only ones it'll happen to. We just have to be aware of it now and have to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And that's an easy thing to do. It's one of the two things. We can pivot to the left or right and treat both, but it has to be consistent racing from here on in. 3-point blue chip was great. Wow, that was some tight quarters late in the mile with my old buddy Hunter. 53-4, 28-2. But I'll tell you what, that was all the last 100 yards. 3-point blue chip was sprinting going through the wire. Shades of the old 3-point blue chip. This horse looked very, very good tonight. Very impressed with what I saw from 3-point blue chip. And as I drove down the road, kind of waiting for Dominic's call and licking my wounds from Ontario, I got to watch JK Victory race. Man, he raced great too. What a nice horse. Second and 49 and a piece. And it looked like he was fourth halfway down the lane and just stayed constant through the wire. A great race from that horse. So truthfully, a fantastic day, top to bottom. Second with Manhattan Money. And great guy, did everything he could. Rose Run AJ, great second. Collector, great second. Cadeau, great third. Blue Ventura, great second. Texan Soprano, a winner from what I can see, the only winner of the night. A break and a flat mile in Ontario, a second with 3-point blue chip, and a second with JK Victory. So a pretty good night at the office across the board. It's a tough one for me, right? It's disappointing because I know what's about to happen. I know the English are coming. I know there's going to be a fight, but it just is what it is. We'll get to the bottom of it and square the horses away. I'm on my way. I'm not on my way to Ontario now. I'm on my way to Ohio. Thankfully, my wife, thank God for Amy, for sure, for a million reasons. And just another one. I was just getting done racing. I was about to jump in the car and head to Ontario, and she messaged me, said, you might want to look at the weather app. It's supposed to pour rain in Hamilton all day tomorrow. It's important because that's where Ollie's playing baseball. So, disappointing to say the least. But he does play on Tuesday. So now that, am I anywhere on Tuesday? I don't think I am. If I'm nowhere on Tuesday night, I'll be watching Ollie play baseball. So, as I said, pretty good day at the office. We'll turn the page. We know what happened with Chicago. We know how to fix it, regardless of which of the two issues. It is sickness or allergies, or a mix of both. We can fix it. We have to stay on top of it to make sure it stays away, and we stay on top of it, which we can do. Sentry Legion, got to get him squared away and qualified, and we'll get that done on, as I said, Tuesday morning. So I will talk to everybody soon. I hope you had a great night. For all my partners and all the horses, pretty good night at the office. Again, when you race this many horses, not without its blemishes, but we can always strive to have a better week and a better day ahead. So I will talk to you all soon. Good luck to everybody tomorrow. We got Victory Blue Chip Tactical. Mounds is in $112,000 final. The 6-pack, that's pretty good. She is 8-1. So good luck to everybody with Tactical Mounds. Victory Blue Chip is tomorrow. Dominion tomorrow. Militant, no free lunch on Fancy Lake, and our boy Renegade Gypsy will cap the night off. Again, on Sunday, we got My Wicked Heart, Hallie in the Clouds. I got to stay close in Northfield Park this week. We'll see how that plays out with the rail. Arrowhead Hanover. My brother Mark is going to drive Arrowhead Hanover. And then on Monday, geez, we already got Monday up too. Don't talk about Bruno. He'll be going to Dresden, I believe. So will George of the Jungle. Yo Mr. races at Mohawk, as does Serious Dragon. Brace for Landing looks like money. And apparently it looks like I'm going to cap the night off with Great Bet Pick to Win, racing in the 15th, so around 5 seconds to midnight. My race will go off. So with that, I will talk to you all soon. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I hope the weather is good and not raining where you are. Another pretty decent day at the office. Take care.